Hi, and welcome to a very early or very late recorded My Random Ruminations. I couldn't sleep. I have a load of energy at the moment, but that's not why I couldn't sleep. I have a lot of energy because I don't have a migraine for the first time in ages. And I used part of that migraine today to make the last part of my wedding gift to two friends of mine. I mentioned it yesterday that I was doing this DIY video of making a little wishing well. Well, it kind of went out of control, and I only found out how out of control when I went to look at the raw footage. I'm not entirely sure how it happened, but first of all, I recorded 50 minutes of footage. Now, admittedly, it took me 2 hours to actually build it, so it's not really surprising considering I was making it up in my head as I was going along. Lesson learned. Draw goddamn plans. Seriously. So that was one problem. Way too much footage. I need to figure out a way of doing my practical project-based videos in a concise form rather than rambling. So put that to one side for a while. The other problem is, despite the fact that I have 50 minutes of footage, I have about 20 minutes of audio. I didn't realize my camera has a mute setting for the microphone it has built into it. That was a unfortunate discovery. I have all this footage I can't use, and I'm practicing doing voiceovers, but I'm not there yet, and the footage that I took was okay. It wasn't great. There's too much of it to wade through, and weirdly I managed to do 50 minutes of footage with a load of it extraneous, but having the stuff I need scattered the whole way through it, and if I cut it up, it just wouldn't work. So I'm going to hang on to the footage, and I may use it in the future. I might find a way to Frankenstein it into like a 10-minute video somehow. So it's just not going to happen, unfortunately, which is why I'm recording this. But on the plus side, I have decided that I'm going to try and do a project video a week. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean DIY. I'm actually taking a step back from DIY for, well, like if I have jobs like putting up the shelf that I put up last week. If I have jobs in the house, yeah, I might do a DIY video then. But if it's something like building a wishing well thingy, I want to do that outside. It's too messy, it's too noisy, and I had big problems. Even the footage that I recorded that had audio, I had big problems because the DIY is noisy, and it was washing out my sound. It was hitting the top buffer all the time. Unusable. So, but that said, I do want to do project videos. One thing, I like making stuff. It's one of my major hobbies. I mean, I make chainmail for fun. I have, amongst other things, a mandolin that I'm trying to make into a mandolele. But it's like, this is a 50 or 60-year-old mandolin that has a cracked neck and needs work and needs tender love and care. It's never going to take steel strings again. That I might show. When I'm doing the big upgrades on my PC, which is of course at my feet, I'm probably going to blog about that. I'm probably blog showing how I'm doing it. Nothing major, just how do you install a graphics card, how do you install RAM, stuff like that. Simples. But practical videos will also include things like game and movie reviews, because they're videos that take a big chunk of time to record. They have to. And they also take ages to prepare. So that will happen. I'm not disappointed with the little wishing well. I'm quite happy with it. I mean, considering I threw it together from materials that were okay, and I put it together like making it up off the top of my head. because I prefer making stuff that way, although I'm not going to do that again if I'm doing any woodwork. It's been too long since I did construct something. Like, I did learn woodworking in a big way in my teens and later on as an adult. But then it was the better part of 15 years. Actually, I'm 36. It's been 15 years since I made a solid object that is not like a shelving unit or something like that, something that's relatively simple. I can't just do it off the top of my head anymore, which is kind of disappointing. So I guess I should probably show you the little wishing well thingy. So we have our little wishing well on my god-awful high stool, and it's just made from wall cladding, a little bit of 25mm by 12mm battening, 8 screws, a crap load of panel pins, and the back of a old bookshelf. So yeah, that's what I spent 2 hours making today, and I'm reasonably happy with it. I mean, it's not ugly. I am going to have to hand it over to the people receiving it and say, okay, I hope you have some varnish because I can't find mine. But yeah, so that's what I did. So yeah, that is what I produced. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show how I did it. I'm quite disappointed about that. In another way, I'm kind of relieved that the audio screwed up so badly. Now that I know there's a mute button, I can avoid it in the future. But I'm kind of relieved in that I had so much footage that was unusable. I kind of learnt a lot about videography today. An awful lot. I also learned that a bullet point menu is not a bad thing to have. Point 1, get to point 2, get to point 3, get to point 4, have a minute between each point. Yes, we have learned. We can learn. Apparently I have a semi-functioning brain still. So, yeah, I'm recording this at 2 in the morning. I am knackered. I can't sleep because my bowel is really hurting. So I am going to edit this, upload it, and you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to record 2 more episodes of Torchlight, and then I'm going to play a crap ton of Borderlands 2, because I am that close to getting a Sandhawk, like a epic ultimate Vault Hunter mode Sandhawk. So yeah, that's my plan for tomorrow. I worked really hard today and I don't have a whole lot to show for it, so I'm kind of bummed. And that's kind of all my news. By the way, the reason I keep looking off there to the right, somebody actually asked me in a private message on Facebook, is when I'm thinking I have a tendency to look off to one side. I don't know why I do it, I always do. And that I function really well with clutter and mess. It's when somewhere is really tidy that I can't work, at least not creatively. And there's quite a bit of clutter down that end, and it actually helps me to focus my mind. Don't ask me why it is this way with me, it just is. I'm a weirdo. I am a weirdo. I apparently cannot speak tonight. So I will be back tomorrow with another video blog. Of course, this evening, the next episode of the Agrarian Skies Big Build, Isengard, goes up. I finally get down to some actual building. Same for tomorrow. Saturday we have Torchlight, episode 3. And my little sister Claire, who is my adopted little sister Claire, who's in Canada, asked me to keep going with it because it's one of her favourite games. And I'm going to. You know, come on. I'm mostly doing this for my friends. I'm hoping they get a good laugh at my expense now and then. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to get this edited up and try and sleep. So, have a great day. Hope you're all asleep while I'm recording this. And see what next week comes. What next week brings even. Bye.